All right, let's talk about motifs. A motif is a repeated shape or image that you see throughout an artwork, or it's basically like a theme, something to connect all pieces of something that you've made. In this case, you are going to create a motif for your 8 artist trading cards. Each artist trading card will show a different element or principle, but you're going to use your motif to show the element or principle that you're using. For instance, this person's motif was a picture of a girl sliding to get a soccer ball, and so in this particular card, you've got lots of color in the background. So the element of art could be color for this, but you're seeing the figure diving for the soccer ball. In this card, you see the figure diving for the soccer ball is repeated several different times. And you see in this card, she is doing the element or the principle of design rhythm by repeating and setting up a rhythm of that same motif. So by just doing different things, maybe creating contrast, or in this case, pattern, using pattern in the background, by doing different things with that same motif, you are showing the different elements and principles, and you're also creating a coherent set of cards. So you're going to design your motif to use in your cards so that you have something to hold your cards together. That was an example of using the exact same motif traced on each card. So how you do this is you're going to take your extra card. You'll notice you have 9 cards. One of those cards is extra, so you can cut out your motif here. So if you wanted to create some kind of image, like let's say I wanted to use a bird shape, I could draw that out, and I'll draw that out with a little bit heavier line so it's more visible. I could draw out my my motif, and I could spend some time kind of working on making it just right. I could add some details to it, spend a little time on my motif, and get it just right. And then when I get it just right, I could cut this out. And the advantage to that is that then I can use this to trace onto all of my different cards. So let's say I've decided to use a bird motif. Now, your motif does not have to look exactly the same on each card. So I could just use this for the cards I want. I could draw another version of this smaller and have both a small and a large template for my motif. It's kind of up to you. But if you know you want something specific, so let's say you want to use a specific logo and you want to look at a picture online and get your logo just right, cutting out a template can be really handy because then you can get it precisely right each time if it's something that you can cut out. So I'm going to cut out my bird here. And then once I have this, it's going to save a lot of my work. So it's kind of like front loading your work. You're putting a lot of time into designing your template, into cutting out a template. I would probably do it a little more carefully than what I'm doing here. So now I have my template, and what I can do here is I can trace it so that it's partly on. I could flip it and reverse it. I could repeat it over and over again. I could do all sorts of things with tracing this onto my card to create different designs that meet my elements and principles standards. So whatever your motif is, if you would like to cut out a shape to use as a template to trace around to get that exact shape, that is what this artist did. Another approach is to pick out a motif that you can do differently artistically in each card and still show something that holds the cards together, but also has a different feeling in each card. So this artist chose a sunflower, and you can see that she's got repetition in the repeated sunflowers in one card. She's got color the element of art color in this card. And you don't even have the whole sunflower here, but it shows color really well. You've got different values here, so darks and lights with the sunflower. So she's able to use her media and her motif. Her cards look like they belong together because the sunflower is a strong motif, but she's actually free drawing it differently with each card. So it's up to you how you want to approach this. If you would like to cut out your motif, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But you do need to show me what your motif is. So if you decide to just draw it on a card, you could take a picture of that and upload it to the assignment to show me what your motif is. If you want to cut it out to make it a template, and take a picture of your motif template, you can, but please show me what your motif is going to be. It can be pretty much anything you want, from a simple geometric shape to a logo. It could be whatever you would like, but make sure it's something that you can use for all 8 cards and be creative with.